Hey everyone, excuse me. Wow. So I've been a little bit under the weather. This morning I woke up with a fever of 101 degrees. I've been taking meds all day trying to keep the fever down. So I'm not going to be maybe as energetic as I usually am. I'm not usually energetic, but you guys know what I mean. Plus, just found out recently that Dr. Lewis at ChargeStack on X passed away today, or is passing away actually. So that kind of broke my heart as well. I've been in contact with Dr. Lewis for about probably 9 to 12 months when he came on to the community and things like that. We've chatted privately in X chat and things like that. I've attended his spaces as well. And it does break my heart that he is passing away or has passed away here. If you guys don't know who Dr. Lewis is, I think this is a pretty good picture of him. Kind of exemplifies his mentality and everything else, right? He loved his cigars and everything else. He was just a beautiful soul in this community. Always very, very kind to everybody. Great host. There's not enough good things I can say about him. We've communicated, like I said in the past as well. Last time we communicated was actually December 31st in chat. I wished him a happy new year, healthy, happy new year, and prosperous new year. He did the same for me. So I was hoping to meet Dr. Lewis in Vegas. I was thinking about going out there for the Bitcoin conference. I believe he was planning on attending as well. So we're hoping to get together, have a dinner and drinks maybe one of those nights there. And I'm never going to have the chance to do that. So I'm saddened by that fact. I'm saddened that he's passed away, and I'm saddened that the community lost somebody that's been really, really great to not only everybody in the community, but also to the miners in general. And I wish him a peaceful resting place in eternity. One of these days, I'll probably end up meeting him in the fields of Bitcoin miners out there. So I just want to put that out there. Didn't plan on doing this, but I thought, the guy deserves it. Greatly, I'm getting choked up. He's going to be greatly missed. So, DR, buddy, to you, my friend. I'll meet you up there someday. Hopefully not too soon. All right. But we got a bunch of things to cover here today. We have to talk about Cleanspark and their earnings today. We also have to take a look at Hive providing their update for January along with IREN. And then Bit Digital is doing a rebranding as well on their HPCI. So we have all those things to talk about. So let's get into everything we have talking, and we'll get through this somehow. But as always, not financial advice for him only. Do your own research. Full disclosure below that. Hit the like button if you want. Subscribe. All the details. You guys know the drill here. Let's take a look at what happened with Bitcoin today and everything else. Bitcoin was actually down a little bit today. It wasn't down too much on the day. It was down 0.08%. And the miners, for the most part, were in the green. There were some that were in the red. It was a mixed day, more or less, on that one. MicroStrategy was down as well today. So Bitcoin's still holding strong, right around like the 96,000, like 500, 250,000 mark, more or less, at that point. Like I said, MicroStrategy was down a little bit here. Bitfarms was basically flat on the day. BitDeer was up just a little bit, 0.06. Cypher up 3.15%. Cleanspark finished out the day at 0.68%. It was up in the after hours, about 5% based on the earnings results there. CORZ was down 1.42%. Hive was, excuse me, 0.35%. Hut 8 was up 1.34%. IREN was up 4.7%. So it's had a nice run here recently, and it's battling with the 50-day simple moving average. Mara was down a little bit. Riot was down also just 1%. Wolf was up 1%. And then the smaller miners were mixed as well. Nothing major here on those guys. The ETFs were down for the most part except for WGMI. And then you guys can see the rest of the stuff here. We're not going to really get into it here. I want to save my voice and hopefully save my energy to get through this stream tonight. Bitcoin for the month of January here is down 5.87% right now. February. I'm accounting this to the meds. The meds are messing with my head. So we're down right now. We're still early on. I think that's going to change, but we'll see if that's the case. And then we have two things that we're not bullish enough on. And those things are, as we can see here, Czech president signs law eliminating capital gains tax on Bitcoin held over 3 years. Huge win for the Czech Republic. Not only that, but huge win for Bitcoin miners or Bitcoin hodlers there. Right, so if you hold on to it for 3 years, you're not having to pay any capital gains on it. That's pretty awesome there. Next here is breaking. Utah's Bitcoin Reserve passes House vote. So that's also bullish, right? I keep saying that the states are probably going to be leading the pack here when it comes to Bitcoin adoption and putting it on the strategic Bitcoin Reserve as well. Okay. All right. Wow. So let's take a look at Bit Digital here as well. They announced a strategic rebranding of its HPC business to White Fiber, which is kind of a cool name, White Fiber. Here's a quote from Sam Tabar, CEO of Bit Digital, commented, rebranding our HPC business to White Fiber is an important step in establishing a distinct identity for this transformative venture. White Fibers represents the convergence of cutting-edge technology and seamless connectivity, underscoring our commitment to delivering vertical integrated HPC solutions by combining data center co-location with GPU cloud services. We provide the high-performance infrastructure required for most demanding AI workloads. With this rebrand, we signal to our customers, partners, and investors that we are focused on building a platform of unmatched reliability, efficiency, and innovation. Our White Fiber business is currently serving more than 20 customers compared to just one. That is really good, and I need to turn this off. Sorry. We look forward to expanding both our customer base and existing partnerships through industry-leading performance and reliability. Bear with me, I gotta take a sip of water. Okay, so this is good news, right? For Bit Digital, doing this kind of thing. They've also started a new website, White Fiber there. I haven't taken a look at it, but they are definitely going more towards the HPCI business, which is nice. The Bitcoin mining is still progressing there. They're still doing okay on that. They've gotten new, what's the word I'm looking for? New companies to host their machines as well. So that's good. They're getting some newer machines as well. So that's good there. But yeah, I think this is a good move, right? And hopefully it'll be reflected in the stock price because I do believe that they are still undervalued from where they really should be based on just what they're getting with HPCI, not to mention what they're getting with also for Bitcoin mining as well. Okay, next here, let's take a look at Cleanspark here. So Cleanspark came out with their fiscal first quarter results, 2025. They had 162.3 million quarterly revenue, up 120% from prior year, 247 million quarterly net income, and basic EPS of 85 cents. I was off on that. I had it like $1.32, $1.60. The part that I was off on was the Bitcoin valuation, the revaluation, I guess, of the FSB rules. I reached out to Gary V at Cleanspark just to help me understand how that's being calculated. I thought it was basically the beginning of the quarter to the end of the quarter, but I'm off on that. I'm guessing somehow. If I get clarification on that, I will let you guys know, and we'll definitely do better going forward here. And then here's a quote from Zach Bradford. Wow, excuse me. We exceeded 2024 guidance and surpassed 40 exahash in January while driving fleet efficiency down to 16.15 joules per terahash, which is nice. Bradford said Cleanspark delivered 162.3 million in revenue at a marginal cost to mine of approximately 34,000 per Bitcoin from the quarter. So that's a decrease of about $2,000. So that's great there. And then we are well on our way towards achieving 50 exahash in the first half of 2025. We expect this growth will happen in the communities in which we already operate through expansion and greenfield projects in Wyoming, Tennessee, and Georgia. Our regional expansion strategy was developed and refined in Georgia, and we are now replicating it nationally, said Bradford. So, like I've said before, Cleanspark is like one of the best miners out there, right? Top 3, top 5, I would say, for sure. Here are some of the details that we have here. Financial highlights for the first quarter of 2025. Quarterly revenues, 160.3. I was really close to that number there, so I'm happy with that. An increase of 88.5 million or 120% from 73.8 million for the same period fiscal quarter last year. Net income for the 3 months ended December 31st was 246.8 million or 85 per, talked about that as well, compared to 25.9 million or 14 cents per basic share for the same period prior year. Adjusted EBITDA increase of 321.6 million from 69.1 million from the same period a year ago. So those are all good things here. They basically beat on earnings per share and revenue. Cash right now is 276.6 million. Bitcoin 929.1 million. Total current assets 1.2 billion. Total mining assets, including prepaid deposits and deployed miners, was 938.8 million. Total assets 2.8 billion. Healthy balance sheet there. Liabilities and stockholder equity. Liabilities was 96.7 million. Total long-term debt was 641. Those are the Convertible notes there, total liabilities of 757.7 million, and total stockholder equity of 2 billion there. So really, really good. Okay, let's take a look at the numbers that I have here for them also. From the conference call, I listened to it as well while I was working on other things as well, but Charlie Elza was nice enough to post this on X today. So earnings call takeaways, and I agree with a lot of this stuff here. Indirect expense expected to be flat, meaning depreciation and compensation will be constant, aka more dollars to shareholders as exahash grows, right? So that's good. That's where you get into scale. Scale helps tremendously. BAP to 50 exahash funded with closure of ATM program. This means much less sell pressure, which is true. And then expansion is the advantage. Cleanspark supports untapped energy assets in rural America. Flexibility to power off builds, relationships with communities, current assets, or current strategy will be to expand outside of Georgia to reduce concentration risk from weather changes. So that's good there, right? All mining facilities and rigs are owned entirely by Cleanspark, so that's good. CFO Gary Vee said they are open to the idea of returning capital to shareholders via additional share buybacks in the future, likely after expansion goals met. So that would be nice there as well. And then 2.8 billion assets, yet Cleanspark market cap is 2.9, margins increase per, yeah. So all the stuff that's happening here. We didn't get much as far as what are they doing with their growth targets. They talked about 50 exahash, possibly getting to beyond that as well. But nothing definitive as far as a lot more growth here this year, which I would have liked to have seen. I would have liked to have seen them be more, what's the word I'm looking for here? More, not optimistic, but more aggressive on it, especially if we possibly might be getting into like an extended cycle. I think that would be a good thing, but we'll see. They still have time. They might come out with something like that. All right, so shares have been updated. The count there, it's 280 million shares right now. Market cap is at 2.9 billion. Stock price at 10.38, which is what it closed at today. Their performance has not been great over the last couple of weeks. We all know that for a lot of these miners has been the case. Going down here, we covered their operations here recently. When they reported that, what we're looking at here is their last 4 quarters of revenue. So you can see that they bottomed out here in Q4, which would have been our Q3 for them because their Q4 is the end of September. Right, Q1, huge increase, a double basically, 162. That was helpful that they installed a lot of hash rate, and Bitcoin price went up also. Current quarter, I'm estimating about 195 million right now. That's where Bitcoin's at as is right now. And then we'll obviously have to wait and see where Bitcoin goes for February and March as well. Okay. Last 4 quarters. Wow, I have a lot more quarters in here. Why do I have a lot more quarters in here? Oh, let's see. What did I mess up in here? Sorry. Someplace I messed up. I'm using these here. I'll have to see if I can fix this. Why isn't that coming up on this one? Oop, sorry. Okay, so for some reason that is very, very, very long. Q1 2025. That's not showing up. Okay, we'll have to get that fixed. Sorry. Cost to mine 1 Bitcoin. This is based on my numbers, right down from 39,000 to 36 Bitcoin mined quarterly. Pretty close to where they were in Q2 of last year. 1,945 for the quarter roughly. Debt to equity, lower is better. It's at 0.378. Still really low, so that doesn't really matter. Current ratio, higher is better. 12.67, really good balance sheet there. Total current assets, 1.2 billion, basically. Total current liabilities, only 9.6 billion. Or, sorry, 9.6. 96 million, sorry. Wow, can't talk. Going down here to the numbers, we'll look at some of these things here in a second. Current assets, like we talked about, cash increased to 276 million, so that's good there. Restricted cash, not much change there. What else changed here quite substantially? Digital currency, 929 million, right? From 431 million. And this is kind of where I thought that FASB was going to be changing over from this number to this number. So I had my EPS estimates off by about 60 cents or something like that. 50, 60 cents on it. And let's see, what else do I have here? That's it. Nice increase from 705 million here to 1.2 billion. Down here, property and equipment also increased 1.2 billion from 869 million. That was good. I'm trying to see what else was there. Total assets increased by about 800 million for them, 2.7 billion from 1.9 billion. Liabilities also went down from 187 million to 96 million, so that was good there. Total liabilities went up, and that's only because of the loans payable net of current portion. That's, I think, that is the convertible notes there, convertible debt, whatever you want to call it. And then total stockholder equity went up to 2.7 from 1.9, so nice growth there. And then revenues here, 162.3 million. I had them at, where did I have them at? 162.4. So I was off by 0.07% on that one. Pretty close. I like seeing that. That always makes my heart warm there. What else? Cost of revenue was up. So I didn't expect that to be that much higher, 70 million from 57 million, but they did install a lot more machines. I was a little bit lower on that number there. Professional fees also went way down here, 3.8 from 5.6, so that's good. Payroll went down also to 20 million from 24 million for the quarter, so that's good. That's really good. General administrative stayed pretty much the same here at 10 million. And then gain on fair value of Bitcoin, right? So this is where they revalued that. That was 218 million, where I was thinking it was going to be like more like 400 million. So I got to figure out why that is the case. On it, depreciation came in a little bit hotter as well at 66 million compared to 51 million there. And then going down here, let's see, total other income, all that expenses, income loss was 256 million. So they had a gain here compared to a loss of 60 million in Q4 for them. So that's how they came up with 85 cents, more or less. So really, really a good quarter. We'll see how the stock does tomorrow. Today was up like 5% plus after hours, and then we'll see how the stock does tomorrow. But this is really good, right? Even if you value that at 20 multiple on that at 85 cents, you're looking at $16 for the stock to be at, more or less, roughly, right? Currently, based on the previous numbers. And they're at 10, so they're still way undervalued from that. Going forward, I think they should be valued much higher, around 26 to 40. They are still way undervalued on it as it is. So really, really good quarter. The next quarter should be as good as well, as long as Bitcoin kind of cooperates with us and does at least go up to 130, 150,000, whatever it might be. At that point, then we'll get a nice revaluation on Bitcoin for them as well, plus them mining more and everything else. It's going to be another good quarter for them as well. All right. So that's it. We'll get into Q&A here in a second. We got a couple more to cover. We got Hive Digital reporting their January update here. This is going to be pretty short and sweet here. Bitcoin production was 102 Bitcoin. Hive's HODL went down a little bit here to 2,657. They sold a portion of that. HODL update here. The company's Bitcoin holdings increased 34% year over year. However, on our month-over-month basis, BTC holdings saw a decline as Hive strategically sold a portion of its BTC to invest in capital assets, including Bitfarms 200 megawatt hydropower Bitcoin mining assets in Paraguay. So that's kind of where that money went to, which is fine. And then mining capacity, they stayed at 5.7 exahash, reached 6 exahash at one point, and peak BTC equivalent hash rate of 6.4. So if you include their GPU miners there as well, that they might have been mining something at that point, that's kind of what they got to. What else do we have here? I think that's it on it. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to have a good growth here this year, getting to 25 exahash by the end of the third quarter. So that's looking good for them there. And then based on what we're seeing here right now for Hive, there are 129 million shares outstanding, market cap 367 million. Performance here hasn't been great over the last 12 weeks. Current hash rate 6 exahash, future hash rate 10. This is what they have already basically bought. They do have options to buy more, or will be buying more as well. At that point, Bitcoin HODL is at 2,657. That's valued at 256 million right now as it is. The production here over the last 12 months has been coming down, right? They've been kind of holding more, well, it's been coming down, but they've been kind of holding place here a little bit as they change out older machines and install new machines, more energy efficient machines. But they're 102 right now, so it is kind of in line where they've been the last couple of months, I would say. Monthly mining revenue, it did increase a little bit here to 10.2 million from 10.12 million. Bitcoin HODL has come down from 2,805 to 2,657. Hash rate growth was flat for the month here, didn't install anything. Monthly Bitcoin sold, you can see that they sold about 250 here in January. BTC per exahash efficiency, really efficient, 16.89. I think this might be the best one for the month here right now for them. Bitcoin sold value, they sold about 25 million there. Right, they're paying about 85 million or whatever it might be for the site at Bitfarms site in Paraguay. Going down here to institutions and analysts, those did increase to 151. Shares also increased to 41 million here, and the percentage owned went up to 29.78 million. We still have 4 strong buy ratings, 3 buy ratings, 0 holds, 0 underperforms, 0 sells. High of $11 from the analyst targets, and the average 821, so that's up a little bit here along with the high. 6 stayed the same, or the low stayed the same at $6 here. On that one, they were mining here in January for 28.84 days. They got us to the 10.199 million here, which coincides with what they, 102 Bitcoin, that would be where they would be at right now on it. All right, going back to the numbers here, if we look at the last month, January times 12 months, IREN between 948 and 1423, they're at 825, they're at 285 right now. Way undervalued, in my opinion. Will they ever get valued at that point? Bitcoin goes up to 200, 250,000, maybe, right? That I don't know, but this is kind of where I would value them. I mean, right now they're being valued at, what are they being valued at here? 10, 12, what is that? 11, like 7, not even 7, a 6, maybe a 6 PE, 5 PE, somewhere around there, right? That seems kind of low, especially the growth that they do have happening here going forward. Based on the growth, I'm giving them a 20 PE. Maybe that is too high. I don't know. But they're basically going to be going 4x on their hash rate from 6 exahash to 25 exahash. So, or 3x, whatever you want to call it, 4x. So I do think that they are still way undervalued based on this. I'm happy to see that they are growing because, as you guys know, in the past, I have been kind of dogging them a little bit on their growth and ambitions to get into higher hash rates. So this is good. Good that they're doing that. Okay. And we'll see how they can execute on that. It is definitely a lofty goal for them. I think it's going to be the biggest growth that they've had here in ever, I guess. So we'll see how they do. Okay. Next here is going to be on IREN. IREN also provides their update here for the month here. Let's see, I forgot to highlight this stuff here. What do we have here on this one? Install January highlights on track for 50 exahash in 5 months. So by the end of the first half, they're installing direct-to-chip liquid cooling for AI HPC, advanced construction of the 1.4 gigawatt Sweetwater project, progressing multi-gigawatt development pipeline, which is nice. There we go. Updates. Okay. Average operating hash rate was 29 exahash here. They did have like 31 exahash installed here. Bitcoin mined was 521. Revenue per Bitcoin was 99,789. Electricity cost 24,000. Really good electricity cost there. Revenue was 52 million for them basically for the month. 12.9 million was electricity cost. Hardware profit was just basically on the cost, the comparison there, 75% margin. That's good. AI cloud revenue was only 0.8 million. Electricity cost, and that was, what was that? 40,000 or something like that, if I'm reading that correctly. Hardware profit, 96% on that one. We talked about a lot of their recent announcements here already in the past. Technical commentary, operating hash rate average 29, driven by voluntary price curtailment at Childress and deracking of certain miners to facilitate S21XP miner upgrades. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. Upcoming events. That's basically it. And then do they have a picture of their site here? I thought they had a picture of the site. They do. There it is. What a nice, beautiful site there. Lot of data centers being implemented there, but those are Bitcoin mining data centers, not the tier 3 data centers, but nonetheless, really, really, it's a great picture, I gotta say. All right, sorry, I had to take a sip of my water here. It's getting too dry. This is a picture of their substation there for Sweetwater utility substation. Let's see, it looks like they're going to be Sweetwater utility substation. Oh, they got a bunch of phases. I guess they're going to be going through here. Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, Phase 4, Phase 5. There's a lot of stuff happening here there, obviously. Site overview for, okay, this is kind of nice here. Mackenzie, British Columbia is 80 megawatts, operating 5.2 exahash. Prince George, operating 3 exahash here, Canal Flats. BCC is 30 megawatts, operating 1.6 exahash. Childress, 750 megawatts, could have 21 exahash there. And then Sweetwater is still under energization. They're planning on April 2026 sometime for that. So a lot of growth here still for IREN, which is nice to see as well. All right, let's get into IREN here really quick. Then we'll get into your guys' Q&A, and we'll call it a day. All right. So IREN, 198 million shares. We'll get an update from them next week when they report their quarterly results. Stock price today was $11.59. Market cap 2.3 billion, roughly, you could say. Performance of the last 12 weeks has not been great. Current hash rate 31 exahash. They're saying that they were at 29 exahash on average for Future hash rate, I have them at 57 exahash based on, but I'm guessing they're changing some miners out as well on that one. Bitcoin production here down a little bit from January, down about 8 BTC, so not bad at all. They don't hodl anything, so there's no hodl comparison there. Bitcoin revenue value, they were up a little bit here to 52.1 million from 51.9 million. Hash rate stayed the same pretty much. BTC sold, they sold everything that they mined there. BTC per exahash efficiency, really good, 16.8 also. Like one of the top miners there, so they're doing really good on that. Bitcoin sold value, they sold everything, 52 million. And then going down here to institutions and analysts, those have also increased here to 216. Shares increased to 71.3 million. Percentage went up to 38.81. We still have 8 strong buy ratings, 2 buy ratings, 2 hold ratings, 0 underperform, 0 sells. Price target stayed the same at 26 for the high. The average went up to 20.55 and the low stayed at 15 on that one as it is. Going down here to the operation side of things for January, I had them operating at 28.687 days. That got us to the 52.095 million more or less, which I have 52.096. We're off by $1,000. Not a big deal there. Based on the revenue that they had here in January, times 12 months, I have them between 32.16 and 48.24 right now. Excuse me. They're at 11.59. Yeah, they're way undervalued as it is. Just like Cleanspark and Hive and anybody else, a lot of these guys are undervalued. They've been, kept down by the big guys, the big boys, the institutions, things like that are hedging their bets and shorting the miners and things like that. So that's a result of that. What can I say for IREN? Keep doing what you're doing. I'd love to see them have a hodl position, but I doubt we're going to get that. But I think that would be fantastic if they did hodl more. And we'll see what they do with HPCI potential there. That could be also one of the catalysts. So I own, as you guys know, Cleanspark and IREN. I own both of those stocks. I own Cleanspark because of their growth and their hodl. I own IREN because of their growth and because of the HPCI potential there as well. Okay, so great updates from a lot of these companies here happening right now. So it's really good. I'm happy with what I'm seeing here. All right, that is it. Well, I still have the energy. Let's get into Q&A and then we'll call it a day. All right, let's go back here. All right, bear with me while I scroll back up on top for any questions, and then we'll work our way down as always. Let's see. Okay. Comments about DR here. Good news for miners. Okay. Alem asks, Cleanspark beat, good news for them, all the miners. I wouldn't say all the miners. I think the miners that have reached scale or at least have a hodl position there and they can use the FSB rules. That should benefit those guys as well, I believe. Okay. Let's see. All right, we have a lot of comments about DR. Yeah, it's sad. He will definitely be missed there, for sure. Okay. Let's see here. Question: did Cleanspark start trading on the 24-hour market just today? I don't know, to be honest. Let's see. Okay, that might be a fun game, Annan. Seb drinking game. Drink when he says the following terms: extended cycle, wait and see. Let's see here. HPCI, FSB. Yeah, I think by the time the stream will be over, you guys will be on the floor, based on the amount of times I say those things. Let's see. Let's see. What else have here? Okay, here we go. How many quarters were the Bitcoin miners reporting positive quarters before hitting all-time high? Is it 2 positive quarters? In the past, it was like 2 or 3 quarters when they were hitting all-time high. But last cycle, a lot of the miners actually hit all-time high after reporting 1 quarter numbers for them. All right. Hello, so do you expect all other miners to have good earnings result just like Cleanspark? Thanks. Like I said, I think the ones that have a hodl position and can take advantage of the FSB rules, those guys should do well. Other ones that are getting to scale, and I mean scale, I think is going to be probably getting like north of 30 exahash or something like that, might still be able to squeak out a positive EPS even if they don't have a hodl position there, but it's going to be more challenging for those guys. But yeah, those are the types of ones that I would think so. The other ones it's going to be interesting to see how close they get to at least breaking even on the EPS, or at least having a slight positive there. Let's see. Des Market Stats says, hey Seb, I couldn't help myself when I saw Cleanspark at 1030 today. I had to buy more first purchase. Oh, very nice. Let's see. Let's see. What is up with Mara? Did the market just forget it also has a mining business? It broke down from a channel since October 2023. It's officially cooked. I wouldn't say it's officially cooked. I mean, what's going on with Mara? Their operations were down a little bit here in January. Not much, but they were still down. They had great December and November updates for us. They bought a lot of Bitcoin. They should do well, especially when that Bitcoin gets revalued for FSB, for the Q1, or for their Q4. So we will just have to be patient with that one, I think. Let's see. Hundo Rick says, Mara doesn't look good at all. What is the fair value price of Mara? Why does the chart and price action look so bad? Well, they took on a lot of debt with convertible debt, right? I wonder if that's having an impact as well. They bought Bitcoin at a higher price around these levels, 90-some thousand mark, right? Could that be another reason that's not doing well? Maybe. Bitcoin price has also been flat, more or less. So all those things play into it. I would be patient and see where things go in the next couple months. Let's see. EPS forecast for other miners or just IREN. They are next for earnings, I believe. IREN, I think, is going to be like 0 EPS to possibly positive EPS, just slightly positive. And the reason for that is they're getting to scale, which is nice, right? So they're getting closer to that point where the cost and everything else, the overhead, is offset by the operations there. They don't have a HODL position, so they can't use that growth in Bitcoin value to improve their EPS, basically. So that's kind of where I'm looking at. But I'd be happy to be surprised on it or be wrong on it if I am wrong. And they actually kept costs way down and things like that. And time will tell. Let's see here. Hi, Seb. Hope your day went well. Could you give an EPS prediction for Mara? Well, Mara is going to be off because I was off on Cleanspark. I don't know exactly how that FASB is being calculated or when it's being calculated. And I was off on Cleanspark by about 200 million. So this is going to be off. I'm going to show you this to you guys anyways, but I'm going to be off on it. I had Mara at, let's see here, 393 or 361 to 393 somewhere, but I had them getting revalued on the Bitcoin HODL about 1.2 billion. If it's half, kind of like what it was half for Cleanspark, we're looking at 600 million, right, roughly at that point. So let's do that. Let's subtract 600 million from here, roughly. That's 600 million. Okay, so there we go. So now I'm looking somewhere between 206 and 175, depending on how much they put into it for stock-based compensation. What else? Depreciation, salary, wages, bonuses, all that stuff, depending on how much they put into it and what their costs were actually to mine. But so I would say maybe between, I would say $1.25 and $1.75. I would go there maybe. Somewhere around there is where I would kind of look at, potentially. We'll see. And that's why I'm hoping to get clarification on the how is the Bitcoin valued for FSB? How does that work? Do you not value it for the Bitcoin that was mined during the quarter, only for what you had at the beginning of the quarter? That could be also it. So I just need some clarification on that part. All right, let's go back here. Okay. Let's see question. So we're now in February. BTC is being absorbed, but supply remains at sub 100,000 level. Trump is sort of a wild card for now. Anything definite do you see as a catalyst this month? A lot of underlying strength. As a catalyst, I think just continued adoption. I mean, we're seeing that coins on exchanges have been dropping. We've seen companies buying. We've seen everything else buying. We've seen states moving forward with their Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. It's just maybe the good news that a state does actually start buying it up for their HODL, right? Anything that's surprising you so far this cycle about just BTC? We saw a lot of these positive catalysts coming from a mile away. Well, we didn't see a lot of the stuff. We didn't see the states going this strong into it and this many so quickly. That was kind of a surprise, I guess you could say. What else was a surprise there? Oh, I mean, I think maybe that was the only surprise I can think of right now, at least. But my head's not that clear right now as it is because I'm sick of trying to deal with it. But yeah, I don't know. I think Trump is a wild card right now, right? The tariffs didn't help, and then those got kind of taken care of. So it is kind of a wild card right now, but we'll see. Okay. See, Trump starting his own ETF, any significant impact? Depending on what that's going to be on. I haven't read any news on that, so I'm a little bit behind if that's the case. Hi, three guys. DR, who died? Yes, DR is the one that passed away there. Let's see. Tom, hi Seb, new subscriber. I'm glad I found your channel. I'm learning a lot. Thank you. Oh, great. Well, thank you so much for subscribing and coming along for the ride, I guess. Let's see. Using your gut feeling, which month do you see the next leg up for BTC price? It should be this month. Historically, February has been a really good month for us. It's not starting out that way, but we shall see. Let's see. Matthew says, appreciate you all as well, always. Question, don't know what I missed, but to ask, is this a fake after hours pump by Cleanspark despite the positive earnings? Where's it at right now? I know it was up like at 5% when I was watching it. I don't know where it's at right now. Let's see. Robinhood added CLSK to 24-hour trading market, and it's up biggie. Oh, nice. Where's it at right now? If you guys could comment. Let's see. Yeah, rest in peace, DR Lewis. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. All right. When will you start thinking to sell Cleanspark if Cleansparks don't run and break $15? Well, if it don't break, it should break $15. I would probably start to think about selling it if Bitcoin doesn't go, up higher from here. Okay. What do you do for work? I'm moving to Chicago next month. I am a VP of operations at a local distributor where I work. Okay, let's see it. Trump's media fintech platform is taking shape with Bitcoin ETF and America's first investment funds for Patriot economy. Oh, interesting. So we'll have that probably in the sovereign wealth fund as well, I'm guessing. So like I said, there's just a lot of good things happening here for us on that one. Let's see. What impact will Digital's rebranding have on the shareholders if they spin it into a different company? That is a good question. That I don't know. If they spin it out into a different company altogether, separate the Bitcoin mining side of things from the HPCI business, that I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how the investors, the institutions, all that, how do they view it? Will they view it as a positive? I would think so, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so Cleanspark's at 1110 right now. That's pretty good, right? What else? There we go. Did the Cleanspark's earnings meet your expectations for its to start to run? Yeah, it should. 85 cents per share times 20, it should be at least $16. So we should get at least to $16 here, all things being equal, if you look at it that way. And then we need Bitcoin to go up. I mean, that's just plain and simple of it. All right, Cleanspark's up 6.6% on Robinhood after hours. Okay, so we'll maybe have a good day tomorrow with Cleanspark. Right, last time Cleanspark reported good earnings, which was last year, the stock went up like, what, 23% in a couple of days, if not higher? Let's see, question 1110 is pretty good price, you think? No, I think it's still undervalued from where it should be. Yeah, but it still needs to go up much higher. I'll leave it at that. But we need Bitcoin to go up much higher as well at that point. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a day here. I'm exhausted. I'm like starting to sweat here. Just being sick, having a fever all day today, trying to battle with that. So I'm going to call it a day. And then also with our friend DR Lewis passing away. Rest in peace, buddy. We'll see what happens tomorrow with the miners, see what they report. I think I have 2 miners left that need to report their January updates. We can then get into their metrics for January as well. And that is it. I'm going to go rest, sleep, sweat this stuff off, hopefully. and be done with this virus, whatever the heck this is. But yeah, I greatly appreciate you guys coming in here, as always. One thing I will just say, based on the news of DR, is life is limited, right? Be kind to each other. We may disagree on viewpoints and things like that, but be kind to each other. Life is precious, all right? Love you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow.